Welcome back to Rise of the Star-Lords. This is episode 22, Reunion. Last week, our heroes went into Foxglove Manor proper and started exploring everywhere. Went up multiple floors, heard the crying of a woman, and opened the door to reveal an undead female Patra. There was nearly a confrontation, but everyone just kind of stood to the side, and the undead Patra beelined to the first floor, smashed through said floor, and unveiled a cavern beneath the house, all the while talking about how she wanted Aldern and he was going to get revenge and whatnot. Ran through some caverns underground, and then the PCs had to fight a number of undead creatures that popped out of the darkness, seemingly ignoring the furious undead that was going for Aldern Foxglove with vengeance in her heart. A number of undead ghouls popped out of the shadows, as well as some undead goblins, most of which fell down a slide and died colliding with each other, if I remember correctly. A combination of road rash and sliding into each other. And where we left off was one final strike on a stone door by the undead Patra, Aisha Foxglove, and it shattered. And that's where we left off. The icebreaker this week was submitted by Ghost, and it's, what is the top item on your character's bucket list? Tom?
Hi. So, Jacinto shares a fascination that I do with the river between, which I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it is this. It's probably a paragraph in the 531 page core rulebook. It is in the section on the diaspora, which is the asteroid belt that's in the Pact Worlds. And the river between is a river flowing through this asteroid belt in a cylindrical containment field that used to be this really, really well-traversed waterway and stuff like that for trade around, I think around like the galaxy and whatnot. But so the river between is on Jacinto's bucket list. Jacinto would very much like to sail the river between because he thinks that would be a very exciting adventure.
Would be an exciting adventure.
I mean, right? It is a pretty epic thing that makes no sense to exist. How great would that be?
Right?
You know?
Better yet, there are sea monsters and crazy shenanigans go on in the river between now, which is why it's not nearly as frequently used.
I haven't ever played Skull and Shackles, but imagine like a Skull and Shackles on the river between.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's Starfinder is so cool because of that. Like stuff like that.
Nick, what do you think would top out Lahan's bucket list?
I mean, getting off this damn moon. Pronking moon. Going anywhere else.
Yeah. Hey, you've been to Magnamar Station a couple times.
Yeah. So she wants to get past Magnamar Station at some point. Going to Absalom Station, seeing the city at the center of the Pact Worlds, is probably her big one.
That would be pretty huge for her, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right, Lapis. What's gonna top off Finn's bucket list?
I mean, after he's done being a cult buster, Finn would like to go see a bit of the universe. He's also been right in this area. He was on Eox briefly, but most of his life has been right around Magnamar. It'd be cool to actually go see the cosmos, especially now that I've been gifted with cosmic power as Solarian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unlimited cosmic power.
Did I tell you?
All right. Well, that's our icebreaker. We had our little bit of a reminder of what happened. Let's come back into Aisha Foxglove shattering that stone door, and let's probably roll initiative. That's going to be necessary.
Nah.
Our initiative's not.
Well-
Our initiative's still there.
Oh, we could keep that, or you could roll a whole new one since it's a new session. It's up to you.
I'm enrolling a new one.
My initiative was fantastic, so I'm gonna keep it if that's allowed.
Well, it's going to be an all or nothing thing, so Nick has to cast the deciding vote.
Let's just keep him.
Okay.
I'm getting an echo.
Off me?
I think so.
There was.
Oh, no. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that besides muting myself.
Let
Make
me
sure everything's
look-
coming
what
through
I
your
do.
headset. Yeah.
Sorry. Aha, that's the bonus I need to put in.
Bonus, you say?
I have to add someone else to the initiative.
La gasp!
And what's in this is Aisha Foxglove, the female Patra, undead, bruises all around her neck as though she was strangled by something. Not hands, like maybe that scarf you found earlier that tried to kill.
Is Jet sounding like he's underwater to you, Nick?
A little bit.
Oh, he sounded pretty quiet.
Closer. Let
Closer
me
typically
adjust-
helps.
That music is also pretty dang loud.
Well, I'm adjusting that down. Am I sounding clearer now?
A little bit?
I don't know what would have changed.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
We can bring it even closer.
That sounds
You're better.
nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I gotta look through my mic. It's fine. Lahan,
The price we pay for good sound quality.
so before we jump full into the initiative, what's gonna happen is she pounds down the door, and she screams, "Aldern! I'm going to end you!" And you hear sort of a, I want to say almost a shriek, sort of like a despairing wail. And he's like, "Aisha, forgive me. I didn't mean to do that to you." And she sort of runs in here. You're not going to get to see some of what's going on in there, unfortunately, but I will show you what Aldern looks like. If I can shift see. This is what he looks like
Oh.
now.
Oh no.
Spooky.
I did a little bit of
Dear
Photoshop.
listener. Dear listener, he has red scars / blood over his face. His eyes are whited out. Same handsome devil. Oh, he also has a forked tongue coming out of his mouth. So that's not great.
Very
No.
long, serpentine tongue. His
Yeah.
gums have receded or rotted away, and you just see his fangs, his cat fangs, exposed. Eyes are fogged over. And you can just hear him screaming, and these are echoing throughout the cavern. You can hear him begging forgiveness, and just over and over, like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Can you ever forgive me?" All this other stuff, and it kind of goes quiet for a moment, and
Oof.
I need to look at his AC. That just and you hear sound of something crashing in there, and that those terrified shrieks turn into a bellow of rage, and we're now going to go into the initiative, as though something has been kicked off in that room that you cannot see what's happening. And it is Lahan's turn to act.
All right. Now, if I recall, this ramp was slippery. Jet, you're muted. Jet?
Yes, it was slippery. Sorry, I didn't mean to mute myself. Yeah, there is an athletics check involved.
An
If you want to
athletics
climb
check.
along the edge, if you just want to run down it, there's an acrobatics check involved.
What if I just want to walk carefully down it?
That would be the acrobatics check.
Do I
Because you're not
have to?
hand holding your way down slowly, you're moving down at your...
Can I just move half speed?
Yeah, if you really want to, you can move half speed.
Isn't that what's gonna happen if I fail anyway? Or am I gonna...
No, if you fail by 5 or more, you slide to the bottom and you take damage based on how many feet you slid. Which is why the goblins ended up exploding at the bottom.
Alright, we'll make my acrobatics check, I guess. I got a 2. How does a 17 do?
Fine. You're fine.
Full speed or half speed?
Full speed.
Okay.
Why armor class penalty of -5?
Did you have
it's
any
an
ability skill damage?
That is because we haven't been back to town and I'm carrying too much stuff. And I'm fatigued, apparently, from something.
You are fatigued. It's from one of the haunts you failed with. You were danced to fatigue.
And I have 2 strength drain and 2 wisdom drain. I'm having a very bad day.
Hey, I'm paralyzed and have drains.
Finn is paralyzed. Dang,
I
I
forgot.
don't have anything for that.
Do I need to roll for my second movement as well, or do I just get to ride on that check?
Oh no, it's just 1. You're fine. And I think Finn just has 2 more turns of the paralyze. If I'm remembering because of the snail that I put there.
So Lahan will move up behind Artania as carefully as she can across this slippery ledge. And I'll pass my turn to Jacinto.
All right, Jacinto.
Hello. Jacinto is going to carefully go over here. He would like to... let's see. He's going to get on Artania, but he probably needs to make some sort of check, doesn't he?
Yeah, the route you're taking is definitely an acrobatics check.
Oh boy, guess what? Your boy's got
climb speed.
a 1 to... Artania has a climb speed. I don't have a climb speed. Now, that is a... Hold on a second. We could be smarter about this. Jacinto is going to tell Artania to come pick him up. So, yeah, there we go. Then now we're thinking with portals. That's the word. Yeah. Okay, so he tells Artania to come over, and then Artania, sort of like does the thing where like the horse gets down on its 2 legs, right? Except he's a horrible spider monstrosity. And Jacinto hops on his back, and then Artania will take his second action, because I gave him a move action with my move action, and then I used my standard action to hop on him, which is normally a move action. And then now we are 1 unit. Artania's got a better check at all of this, but guess what? Artania also has climb speed. So we're just gonna... I'm on that wall right there. So he's sort of scaling the wall because Jacinto saw those goblins fall down the way. He calls back to Lahan. I'll try and get up ahead and see what I can find, but honestly, do we even want to go in that chamber if she's just gonna rip them apart? Probably not.
Oh, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Finn, hang in there. That should be over in a round or 2, hopefully.
What's a round?
My turn.
Well, Artania has developed this method of timekeeping. 6 seconds is approximately 1 round, and on Jacinto's special watch that he has had crafted.
Yes. I saw into the future, into the the fabric of the universe using the Song of the Spheres.
Oh, I see.
All right.
All is
so
clear.
It's now Aldern's turn, and you hear that shriek of rage, and he screams, "You trying to think of a polite term for this because we've been trying to disguise swear words, and pronk and flame
Mother
do not
Pronker?
apply. Yes, you mother pronker, and you. Okay, subtract 4. Subtract 4. Okay, the first one hits. The second one is. You hear a meaty sound as though there is a blade passing into flesh.
Ugh.
It was a lot of fight.
And you know the sound of crashing as though some furniture is being knocked over, that sort of thing, as they continue to tussle back and forth. And it's Finn's turn. Finn, you're paralyzed. Subtract 1 from the snail.
I'll keep photon attuned.
Yes.
Purely mental.
Aisha's turn. Aisha. Mother Pronker, you're gonna call me a Mother Pronker? You murdered me! And then full attack. And I need to make a note because it's full attack.
If you press the little bubble directly underneath your token when you click on your token, you can scroll through those icons. You see the icons?
I can do it for you. There's like a little spyglass bubble. Click on that. Icons come up. If you mouse over the snail and then you just type a button, type a number, it will adjust the number on the snail. And you don't hear, you hear that she has, obviously there was, based on what she said, there was some violence intending to be put upon Aldern, but you don't hear the sound of flesh on flesh or anything like that. You just hear some more knocking of furniture. And we're back up to Lahan.
All right. Let's try that. It's a 19 acrobatics check.
Wow.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm actually doing okay for only having a 2 right now.
Yeah, so acrobatics, not typically the mechanics forte.
Yeah, no, I'm just rolling rocks. I'm in luck. I'm gonna use this luck to move all the way up to that door and open it. Is it already open?
It was destroyed. She smashed through it. She shattered a stone door that was 6 inches thick.
All right. Well, I've 15 feet left. Let's sneak in here with my last just 10 feet there, which hopefully will let me, because technically it's 7 if I sneak.
Yeah, that's
I currently have a -3 too, so I'm not very sneaky. Yeah, no, I'm not sneaky at all. The least sneaky.
You slip a little bit coming off of that ramp, and you just clatter into a wall with your overburdened backpack. They don't seem to be paying too much attention to you, but what you do see is there's the air in this room. It's damp and it reeks of. It's got a horrific stench. It's a combination of decay, brine, mold. From where you are, I believe you can see there's a rickety, rusty table. Its surface is cluttered with all manner of garbage, empty bottles, bits of clothing, crumpled bits of paper, and it's all laying in neatly organized rows. There's also a painting leaning on the far side of the table, and it's facing a large leather chair that is in front of this wall. I am pointing with my finger like that is going to do anything. It is basically where Aldern's token is located. That wall is covered in blue and green and silvery, glittery mold, and within the mold is almost the form of a patra. It's as though someone took the organic goo of a patra and in the shape of a patra and flung it, and then it just kind of splorted out.
It's
a bad
horrifying.
Sign. That's never a good sign. It's a good thing it's Lahan in here and not me. the human mold detector, I would be swelling up.
And
To...
the leather chair, it's high backed, its cushions are horribly stained. There's smears of rotting meat on the arms of the chair, and the arms of the chair are also sticky with blood. There's a smaller table on the southern wall. Its surface is heaped with plates and platters of rotten, maggot-infested meat. And the stench of the room seems to be the strongest coming from that wall with that
All right,
moldy
well,
shape.
Now that I'm here, I don't want to be here, but I have no movement left. So I guess it's Jacinto's turn.
You're like, I want to leave. No. All right.
Well,
It's Jacinto's turn.
I hope nobody was eating, because
That's gross.
boy, we
Hey,
apologize.
I think the only people that would have been surprised are people that came in for the first time, because everyone else has been listening to at least 2 episodes of this house being gross and awful.
We're gonna start putting trigger warnings on this show for gross.
Jacinto directs Artania to move over there, and then we will step off with our action, and then
The royal we.
yeah, Jacinto doesn't want to go in there. There's no reason to go in there if they're just gonna destroy each other. Let's let them. And so let me say this in character. Jacinto, mutters to Lahan, "We should really just stay out here, yeah? And then whoever wins the fight, we just take them out too."
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let's just
All
see
right.
what happens.
Good. Go team. That's. Let me just make sure there's no support spell that I want to cast. No, I mean I could begin summoning a creature, but that might piss them off and draw their attention over here.
Yeah, probably just
So-
best to leave it alone.
I'll start a summon once it looks like their fight is gonna wrap up, because I've got 4 second level spells locked and loaded. And not to mention 5 first level spells. So that is Jacinto's turn for now.
All right. Well, now I'm planning for that development. I just need to remember. All right. Okay. Got the number that I need. All right. That's Jacinto's turn. Aldern's turn. He appears to be fighting. She appears to be barehanded with elongated, glowing green talons coming from her fingertips. He is fighting back with this large, oversized, heavily modified razor blade, like a straight razor that you flip out. And he is going to attempt to lay into her full attack. So -4 to that roll, -4 to that roll. Wow. Hits twice for a total of 47 damage.
Woof.
And it's Finn's turn. Finn, your entire turn is to be no longer paralyzed. And I could narrate what happens with them because there is a set thing that happens. Do you want me to do that now or wait until Finn has caught up with you? Because I could.
I mean, if you're offering, I'd rather have Finn up here if you're offering.
Yeah, so what I think we should do is, with Finn's movement, let's just focus on Finn for a second. Couple acrobatics checks to make sure that nothing disastrous happens with Finn.
I mean, it takes my whole turn to be unparalyzed. We'll be beginning of next round before I can move.
Well, I know exactly what's going to happen with Aldern and Aisha, assuming that Lahan and Jacinto are not going to intervene.
Oh, okay.
So I can focus on Finn, get Finn to the door, tell you what has happened between the two of them, and then we could continue.
Okay.
If you guys would like to do that.
That sounds good to me.
All right. So they continue fighting. I'm not going to go into the nuts and bolts of that because there's no point in that. Finn, if you want to get to your friends, you're no longer paralyzed, but to move down the ramp, you're going to need to make an acrobatics check.
27 and 22.
Yeah.
I actually have acrobatics.
You did super good. Super good. You're there, right there with them. So you can move your token.
Can I be in front of them?
I have zero problem with that because you guys would have you would have gotten there relatively quick, and the fight would have definitely lasted more than 2 rounds or 1 round.
I'll be right here. I'll be where they can see me. Right, I'll be right there. Bam.
That's fine. And
That
what
made me
you
panic as
see,
Right
you
up
get
front.
there, and this fight goes on for a little while. And Aisha is just in a berserk rage, just these glowing green claws tearing into him, melting bits of his flesh here and there, and he is just cutting her to ribbons with this razor. Periodically, his tongue, much like the xenomorph from the Aliens franchise, darts out and pierces into her flesh. And she seems to weaken every time that happens. And eventually, though he is very bedraggled, Aisha falls, a crumpled heap on the floor, cut to ribbons.
Good.
You guys didn't help the
Good.
poor zombie cat lady.
And like
Trying to
Aldern
avenge her
looks
murder.
bad.
She appeared to have it
Very
under
bad.
control.
She didn't. She just died again.
Well, honestly, she was probably going to have to be put to rest anyway, right?
And I just took us back to this top of the order. It's Lahan's turn. Lahan can choose to wait or do whatever Lahan would do at this moment.
Yeah, I'll delay until after Finn.
Okay, delay till after Finn. So I'll just slide you down there now. Jacinto, what would you like to do?
Jacinto is going to begin a summon. So he begins, again, as I feel like I say every time, begins pulling at the fabrics and strings of the universe. But which strings am I talking about? The strings or the strings, right? Anyway, because he's a music mystic. That's Jacinto's turn. Artania is he's gonna, say to Artania, just hold on, Artania. I'm gonna call in some backup, and then you can go up. And Artania gives like a little wriggle, but sits there patiently. Yeah. That is our turn.
The pedipalp tentacles just undulate in affirmation.
Yes, excellent.
It is Aldern's turn, and he's standing there. And for all that he doesn't need to breathe anymore, it's sort of a habit in his chest. It's just... And he's looking down at the remains of what was once his wife. And the mold on the wall sort of forms pseudopods, tentacles, and it reaches out and it pierces into his back, and his chest arches and his eyes look up, and his eyes, they go wide, and they were that milky white, but they're filled with a violet light. And then he looks at you all, and he's like, Finn, my love, you've come to me. I knew my letters would sway your heart. Let's consummate our hunger now. And
don't do it. Don't do
Aldern
it.
does that and starts walking your way, not doing anything hostile yet, but they have also not put away that straight razor. And they're looking you in the eyes. And it's kind of like how a snake, when it eyes someone, its head stays still, but its body sort of moves and sways underneath it. It's not Finn's turn to
still
respond.
attached to the wall?
No, the tendrils are stretching out and following and swaying, still connected. And you see like bits of his flesh. Like he's in a more advanced form of whatever was going on with those other ghouls, where I was describing them as partially like infused with like nanites or something. He like more and more of him, as this light pulses into him through these tendrils, is starting to change to become something else.
I don't know if that's the best look on you there, Aldern. Let's walk over this way. Come over here. And I'm going to explode.
Yeah.
Because I've been photon tuning while I was paralyzed.
Been
Mhm.
holding this one for a while.
It's been backed up.
I'm just super full of cosmic energy, and it needs to go somewhere.
It does.
I
All
fucking
right.
love Solarian.
Well, roll your
I've
supernova.
got a button for it somewhere. Let's see if the button works. 6 plus 1 d6. Level 6. I actually need one more d6 than that.
It's 6 plus 1 is 7, so you're level 6. That's
That plus 1. Oh, okay. I thought that was just plus 1 to damage, not a plus 1 d6. Okay.
there should be a plus 1 there for
Yeah,
your photon.
6 plus
attunement,
1
though.
d6, so it gets your level
Okay.
and then it adds 1.
Sounds good. So he does a
24.
reflex save.
That's actually 24 damage, though. What I was saying is it's plus 1 damage because he's
from
attuned
being
to photon
photon
right until the
attuned.
moment he explodes.
Yeah.
And I rolled that reflex in Hero Lab, and they do make the DC with a total of 21.
That's
So
okay.
they're taking half of that.
That's still 12.
So 12, which is respectable. And that takes a lot out of him because he was very badly injured by Aisha. So you moved and you exploded, and he shrieks, and you char those tendrils that are connecting him to that old growth on the wall. And he's like, "You betray me, my love. I will destroy you first, and then all your friends. I'm going to feast on your flesh."
As a free
Well,
action. If you don't surrender, you'll be the one who is destroyed. Carry on.
You can try move action to combat track. Standard action to shoot him with a plasma bolter. 25 to hit for
That
12 electric and fire damage. Guys, I have 1 shot left on this gun before I'm out of batteries. I brought 3 fully charged batteries on this trip. That is how long it's been since we've been back to town.
Yeah, gotta get that.
This is when that mechanic ability to just recharge batteries.
Oh, did I grab that at level
Super
6? I think I did. No.
No,
I
you
did.
totally did.
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yeah, I did. I have a portable charging
Oh, then you
station
totally
now.
charged your batteries. You're fine.
We haven't spent 10 minutes since we leveled.
Yeah, you
Oh.
haven't. It's been go, go, go. Jacinto, it's your turn. I believe you're going to destroy me with summons now.
Yes, I think it's that time. So Jacinto is going to call into being a single level 2 summon.
I'm terrified.
This is not good news for Aldern. I'm pulling it there. What do I summon? What do I want to summon? Hello? I pulled it out. I pulled it there.
Gosh darn it, roll 20.
Jet, my token's not working.
Your token's not working.
My token's not working.
Your token's not working? That's weird. It's been working.
Unless all 3 of them are going to pop up on the screen. I've dragged it out 3 times.
Weird. Oh,
Let me try
for some reason that token just is blank. But
Lame.
what I can do, because I think the token is basically the same, is just I'll pull out this one, you edit it however is appropriate, and then I will make it the default token for your level 2 summon.
Okay. But for now, let's see. Oh boy. So Jacinto is going to bring out a Lantern Archon because those have been very reliable for him. He likes Lantern Archons the best, I think it's safe to say, because they make pretty sounds. And so the small Archon pops out, and yeah, these are the right stats. Their stats are just garbo. My EAC and KAC are 12 and 13 on this summon, so they're easy to hit. So where did you put the level 1? Here we go. All right, I brought out a level 1 summon, and it's gonna go. Can I squeeze it in here? It's very small.
Yeah, that's fine. I know it's actually small.
It is mechanically small. Yes.
What are its hit points?
20.
Wow, I went from 6 to 20. That's insane.
Yep, and damage goes from 1d6 plus like 1 to 1d6 plus 5. It's pretty good. It's no big deal. And then, oh look, I found those tokens that I tried dragging out. That's weird.
Yeah, super weird.
All right. Anyway, so then Jacinto commands Artanya to run up, and Jacinto begins another summon in the meantime. So,
Yes.
Very hurt. You don't need
really
to do
should have
that.
been a warmonger, Jacinto. Who knew that summons could be so much fun? So Jacinto, well, Artanya takes his own action to move up there then, because Jacinto needs the full round to summon, and then the Lantern Archon is going to take a melee attack into Aldern Foxglove. You know what? We're gonna take 2.
Do
No.
it.
Roll to hug.
19 and 20 to hit KAC.
Oh, that will miss.
Both of them?
Yes.
All right, no more full attacks for you. Wait, that was the wrong stat block. That should be a plus. That should be a +9 -4. So that needs to be 4 higher. It's rolling the right, because this is the button on the level 1 summon. I'm sorry. So that is a 23 and a 24 to hit Aldern Foxglove.
The 24 will hit.
Oh, flanking as well, because Artanya's there.
Oh. And both of them will hit.
Yeah, Math Finder. So those d6s should also have 2 more added on to them. So that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage as the Lantern Archon just, moshes into Aldern as it pops up out of a heavenly portal. And then 9 points of bludgeoning damage as well.
He's so close. He's so close. He's this close. My fingers are very close together, folks.
That close? All right. That was a successful turn.
As your cursed Archon attempts to destroy my poor undead murderer.
Poor
It's
undead
his
murderer.
turn.
That poor criminal. That poor serial killer. Ugh.
Hard life. Hard life being a murderer.
Because mathematically, I'm sure I only have 1 turn. Guarded step.
I mean, that looks like difficult terrain to me. Oh, that one's onto the dead. Okay, never mind.
Guarded step. And then attacks Finn. Okay, I need to delete Aisha. She's in the way.
The fool. He stepped into flanking.
The fool.
Yeah. He steps over and he opens his mouth unnaturally wide.
Because he's a ghoul.
Looks like his jaw has become dislocated and it's come down so far. And he leans forward and his tongue shoots out like a spear at Finn.
No thanks. I don't think that gets me.
24 versus KAC.
Let me check. Oh no, that does get me!
Take 21 piercing damage and 2 strength damage.
Ugh.
So rude.
Lame.
As you feel some of your own undead vitality being drained into Aldern. And just before his turn is done, a pulse of violent energy comes from the wall, and you see some of the flesh that has been burned away that was flesh starts to be replaced with
That's strength.
nanites.
Concerning.
And it's Finn's turn.
It's gonna make my attacks not hit as nice. It's rude. Rude. I'll try to fall on to talking with my gauntlet. Let's see if it works. 20 and a 17 both misses, yeah?
That is true. He's flat-footed, but a 22 will still miss.
What about with flanking?
That's where the 22 is coming from.
Lame. Alright.
Well,
I'm gonna grab a ton of tune. Actually, no, a photon of tune.
You've got a severely injured and surrounded Aldern Foxglove.
Yeah, let's just take a shot. This might all be over. This is my last shot. Well, I guess if I miss, that's conserving, so then it won't be. That is a miss.
It's not your
I
last
rolled-
shot. Toot toot.
Toot toot!
Jacinto. Oh,
I do still have a move action, but I'll just feed it to... No, I won't feed it to her world. I'll build a barricade.
Ah,
Oh, I love it.
Right here. Barricade. Right across the hall of this room. So I have cover. Take that, Aldern Foxglove. That's it.
Oh. No, not another one. Stop it,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
evil.
Another Lantern Archon coming in fast and hot.
They're evil.
So we're not going to get too close to those vines. I'm not going to risk Artania. What?
Don't do it.
Okay, not to be fighting myself here, but is it close enough that you could summon the Archon on the other side and have Artania be in the spot where the Archon is?
So it's kind of weird, right? Because Jacinto can't really see what's going on down that tunnel. So really what I'm thinking is the Archon like came in here and I'm going to have it float towards Aldern.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, plus I don't want my my sweet boy Artania to get too close to those vines and get even more questionable. So we're going to keep Artania safe on the other side of the table here. So let's see, who do I want to attack first in my army? Let's have this one attack. Artania is going to attack first. Artania bite.
I will miss.
Artania miss. Archon to the north with flanking. Yes. That is a 26 to hit for 10 bludgeoning damage.
And actually, that Archon slams forward, bypassing a swipe from the razor, and just crashes into Aldern's skull, dropping him down onto the floor at Finn's feet. Those tendrils are still connected. But Aldern is actually down for the count. Exactly down for the count.
Excellent. So Jacinto then tells this Archon, I guess, because he hears... You know what? No. Jacinto can actually move into the pronking room now. So, it's probably safe.
You gotta climb my barricade.
Well, I only moved 15 feet. I hope I can get over it or past it. I'm very small.
Runs up Lahan's back and jumps off the shoulder.
Excuse me. Yep, just coming. Gotta get in there. I want to see what's going on before I tell the last Archon number blue to go. That's blue and that's red. All right. So, looking at these vines, can I make a mysticism check to see what's 100%. Going on here?
100%.
Love it. I am so big brain. 26.
All right. I got to dig through my text. All right. So 26. So there is a shattered, now that you're in the room, you can see that there is a shattered puzzle box lying at the foot of this mold whatever nonsense that's going on. You know it has something to do with necromancy, and you're pretty sure that this is a old school style, or a riff on an old school thing, something from thousands of years ago. You think it's some sort of phylactery.
Oh, phylactery.
It's shattered, though.
Okay, the puzzle box, which is an old school kind of phylactery deal, is shattered on the floor by the vines.
Yeah, and it's like, it's mold. It's not really vines. It's tendrils coming out. And again, that mold's in the shape of like a Patra male, as though he had been blasted into the wall. And then like mold overtook and grew out and infused everything. And you've seen this mold all throughout the house.
Right.
I think we gotta burn down the house.
Man, I'm getting a real Haunting of Hill House vibes from this whole place, especially with the mold. Okay, so
Just burn it down.
Yeah, we gotta burn it down. I don't have any fire spells. I'm not a technomancer. And I didn't summon a fire elemental. So I guess, I don't know, the Lantern Archon, I guess Jacinto's just gonna tell the Lantern Archon to like coup de grace freaking Aldern. Is that an option available to me?
Yeah, you can have him attack remains of Aldern if you want to do more damage to it.
Yeah. That's still not the right thing. He's prone, which is +4. That should also be +4. It's a 19 to hit, but it's probably still not going to hit unless he's whatever.
We'll figure it out later. It's prone, so it's what, 4 damage?
Should be 6 damage because that's this is still rolling my minimum, the wrong damage. But yes.
Well, we'll figure that out. But yeah, you do damage to the remains of Aldern.
I end my turn.
Yep, those tendrils are still attached. And I'm assuming here, because I don't want to make this take forever, because I don't see there's any way where he could get out of this in a positive way. I assume you're going to continue either attacking him or attacking the wall, correct?
Yeah.
As a group?
Yeah.
Mainly the wall. Like, do you want to keep him alive
or the tendrils at the very least. You would attack the tendrils.
Can I take my scissors to the tendrils?
You probably need to take something more robust than scissors, but...
I mean, I could explode on them again.
Yeah.
They already have fire damage. They're targetable.
You damaged those tendrils when you blew up. You didn't destroy them, but you damaged them. And I don't feel like we need to go turn by turn with him possibly healing and then you damaging him again and then you eventually attacking the tendrils or the wall or some combination thereof.
Yeah.
So Aldern's going to be dead. We'll figure out exactly how much you deal with the wall, I think, if that's fair, unless you really want to go turn by turn for this.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
That was clever.
All right, so Aldern is dead. The tendrils have been destroyed / What's up?
Say, anybody got any grenades? We could bump Fuzzle's belt a detonator.
I don't have grenades. I'm a mystic. We don't do that.
Yeah, no, I don't have any either.
You could with a little bit of experimentation, do you still have still have a shot left with your plasma rifle, right? Because you kept missing.
One, yeah. No, I only missed the once.
You hit him the once, but if you shoot the fungus with your plasma rifle, you realize that it responds negatively to fire. So if you have some way of doing fire damage,
isn't my explosion fire damage?
100%. You could also explode every 2 turns.
I can just keep exploding on it.
But we're not in a fight, are we?
Yeah, you can only attune in combat. But Finn did explode near the wall, so that damage should apply.
Again, it did do damage. It just didn't destroy it because it was 12 damage.
Okay.
I can summon 3 fire elementals with a 2nd level spell.
There you go.
And they do bludgeoning and fire, so half of the damage they deal will be fire.
I feel like I would have gotten at least one more chance to explode while we were dealing with Aldern, though, while still in combat.
That's fine. So between you exploding one last time and some fire elementals, you beat back this growth on the wall. It doesn't go away 100%. There's still a tiny little bit. It just will not go away just with you damaging it. But it looks to you like it will take a while before it is some sort of a threat again. And if you wanted to dig into it a little bit, you could figure out possibly a way to permanently get rid of it. Kind of like how you had to do a little bit of research to figure out how to permanently get rid of the rune well. Like, this is some old meets new magic that obviously went awry based on some of the visions that you saw and some of the visions that you didn't see yet.
Okay. I mean, they kept trying to make us kill ourselves, therefore.
Yeah.
All
right.
I mean, I can just roll your 26 mysticism check into this now that you've had time to look at the wall and you've started piecing some things together. This wall it's necromantic. It's the result of a failed Lich's Ascension ritual. It was interrupted, the phylactery was destroyed, and you suspect that the person performing the ritual, which based on the fact that this was Vorel Foxglove's workshop and his house initially, you suspect it might be Vorel Foxglove himself. You suspect that he was destroyed in the process when his ascension ritual was interrupted, and some remnant of his soul latched on to this property, this fungus, these nanites that were part of everything, and it sort of grew to overtake the house and started causing a lot of these things to manifest and go wrong and just be awful in general. You realize that fire and acid, or the application of actual, honest to goodness, holy water, much like with the rune well, would allow you to beat back this mold, but you think it's going to come back in about 24 hours, unless you manage to get probably Father Xantus, like a genuine holy man, not just a mystic, out here to perform a ritual to cleanse the site. Oh no, I've accidentally torn up my post-it notepad in half. I didn't mean to do that. It makes me sad.
No.
Oh, you're just too strong. You ripped all those post-it notes in half.
Alternately, if you have it, which I don't think you do at this point, you suspect that if you could channel 10 levels worth of healing spells into this spot on this wall, you would destroy the remnant forever.
I have 5 first level spells and 2 second level. That is 9 spells. 9 levels worth of spells. Darn it. I have spell gems. Would those count?
If you have a healing one, I would allow it to count.
Yep, I got a Mystic Cure 1. That's easy enough to replace. So
Alternatively, we could just crash the house down on top of it.
Well,
I don't think that would really solve the problem.
You
with these things.
I mean, if there's no house for it to be latched onto.
Well, you suspect, I mean, the whole house, you've detected all along that there was some magic flowing throughout the house. You suspect you could destroy the house, but you also suspect, based on what you know, if you don't destroy this point where everything is focused, localized, or latched on, the nanite-infused moldy remnants of Royal Foxglove will rebuild the house at given time.
Yeah. And then people will come in, they'll want to see what's going on, and then we'll have another Aldern Foxglove on our hands. So
good point.
I don't think we can leave this thing to rest. We're gonna have to destroy it. So I think I have enough juice left in me for the day that I can bust this thing. I'll need a little help from my spell gems, but luckily I've been collecting them since level 1. So this Mystic Cure 1 spell, I'm pretty sure I've had since the tick fight.
Nice.
Yeah. So Jacinto sort of, pulls up his sleeves of his little blue robe, purple robe.
Medlon is blue. Jacinto's purple.
Yeah, Medlon's my other spellcaster. Medlon is blue. Medlon Athelio Tanaton. I love saying his name. Anyway,
I thought he said he had a blue robe. Had a green robe.
Does he have a green robe? Whatever I told you.
At one point. You said
whatever
green
I
at one
told.
point.
Then green it is. Because whatever I told you is canon because I told you that first. So he rolls up the sleeves of his forest green robe and is going to cast all of his healing spells, all of his spell slots for the day into this wall. Sort of channeling it, saying prayers to Eureka as he goes, which is fitting because she's the goddess of a change, among other things, I think. He's changing this. He's channeling healing into this unholy thing.
So as you do that, like Jacinto steps forward and reaches one of his little nubs, or reaches his L-fan out, I imagine, and channels this healing positive energy into this dark sink, this locus of necromantic energy. And as you do so, that vaguely Patra-shaped, like organic mass sort of starts ripping away from the wall and lurching out into the room and just screaming inhumanly in agony. And it eventually does completely pull free. And it's kind of doing that old Batman the Animated Series Clayface in the Rain thing where its limbs start drooping and crumbling to dust. And its feet can't hold its mass, so they're starting to like sink down and leave a trail. And eventually it just gives one last shriek and just drops into a puddle and just nothing. It's inert. If you cast Detect Magic, you're not sensing anything. You're not sensing anything from the house above anymore. It appears that you have completely exorcised the spirits that were trapped in this house.
Jacinto looks down at the pile of dust and says, "I'm sorry for your pain, but I hope you're at rest now. If you have earned your rest." And sort of, does the space version of crossing himself and then walks out of the room.
Well, and as this ritual is being performed, because I imagine it takes a little bit more time than like a traditional spell casting, just because I feel like thematically that's appropriate. As that's happening, Finn, you look around the room a little bit, and you see that table where there was the very neatly organized junk in rows.
Okay.
There are some things that you recognize on that table. You see an old family photo of yours that you swear you had in your room at the Rusty Dragon, and you hadn't been able to find it for a little while. There's a small handmade bracelet that Berthana gifted you on one of your dates. An undershirt, your favorite undershirt, that you have not been able to find. You thought that's
particularly irritating.
And you also see an old journal, and you recognize this journal. You've kept this journal for a long time. You see a couple little bits of like notes, envelopes that you remember what you wrote in those, and those were tucked in that journal. There was also, you've been missing your Starfinder equivalent to an iPod for a little while. That and your headphones. And there's even you don't know how he got this. You probably never even noticed it because it came from like the back of your head. But there's a little lock of hair that's obviously from your head.
Unsettling.
Creeper. What a creeper.
My hair.
There is also a data pad sitting in the trash. It looks as though something like it's not ancient. It looks more recent.
I'm gonna discreetly tuck the pile of my stuff in my backpack, and I'm gonna point the data pad out to Lahan. I'm gonna leave my hair there because I don't need my hair.
Is the data pad password protected, secured?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I need my hair, but not that hair.
Not anymore. That's a 28.
Okay. You super duper get inside there. Inside there's a number of things in here. There you see the equivalent to a desktop folder that has some pictures that were drawn with like a charcoal style, it was like a paint program where you can pick, your different brushes that you're using, and they were done with like in a charcoal style. And it's a number of erotic drawings of Finn.
Oh no!
And also a number of pictures of Jacinto, but it's Jacinto having been killed in numerous different ways.
Yikes.
Also, just on the desktop that you could find after poking around in a couple different folders, there is a letter, which I can show you. Skinsaw Murders, Foxglove, Misgivings. That's where I stashed it.
Are they nice drawings?
Yeah, they were really well done. Just there, you should be able to see that now that there's a letter, a digital letter, an email that was addressed to Aldern.
Would one of us like to read this? Anybody volunteer?
I can.
I'll do it. Oh,
Okay, I
okay.
would
Go
say
ahead.
no one I could do it.
Aldern,
Go ahead.
you have served us quite well. The delivery harvested from the caverns far exceeds what I had hoped for you. You may consider your debt to the brothers paid in full. Yet I have need of you, and when you awaken from your death, you should find your mind clear and able to understand this task more than in the state you lie in as I write this. You shall remember the workings of the Sahidron ritual, I trust. You seemed quite lucid at the time, but if you find after your rebirth that you have forgotten, return to your townhouse in Magnamar. My agents will contact you there soon. No need for you to bother the brothers further. I will provide the list of proper victims for the Sahidran ritual in 2 days' time. Commit that list to memory and then destroy it before you begin your work. The ones I have selected must be marked before they die. Otherwise, they do my master no good, and the greed in their souls will go to waste. If others get in your way, though, you may do with them as you please. Eat them, savage them, or turn them into pawns. It matters not to me. Zanesha, Mistress of the Seven.
And one thing I forgot, I did all this other color editing and adding lens flares and stuff to the document. Everywhere it said brothers, it was supposed to say siblings. I spaced on that. I apologize.
Almost had it.
Still, hearing this, Sinto says, okay, so this explains why he was carving the runes into them, into his victims, I should say, to some degree. Sort of confirms that he was the one behind it all. I don't know what this, well,
at least being used for some, because it doesn't sound like he's the mastermind behind any of this.
No, and it also sounds like they're going to contact him at his townhouse in Magnamar.
Yeah. So, we need to find out, we need to do some research on this, the Seven, anything in relation to the Sahidran rune, which I have a data set on, I think, don't I? Or
you have a data set on Lamash 2 specifically, but you have access to the House of Blue Stone that has a mystic library that gives you a +6 bonus to mysticism, and I think it's mysticism checks, as long as you're doing research at that facility. Are you going to look around the room for anything else of value? Are you going to loot his body?
Yeah, we want to loot his body and check around the room some more. But I also want to continue our conversation a little bit.
Yeah, go right ahead and do all that.
So, with this information, we're going to have to go over to his house. Do you think it would be valuable to keep his death under wraps and maybe have one of us ride to masquerade as him for a few days?
Perhaps, but I think we should talk to the sheriff first.
Yeah, I doubt the sheriff should know anything. He's probably safe.
Right, but the sheriff asked us
to let him know.
I think we found who committed the murders.
Yeah, and that might help the people of his the families of his victims and whatnot.
That's fair. I was thinking keeping the death under wraps until we get more information from the Seven siblings would probably be useful. Because if we spook them and they disappear into the ether right now, then we're never going to get any farther.
You're right. That's probably a good point.
That's true.
Well, what do you think? Do you think we could tell the sheriff at least?
I think we could tell the sheriff, but I would ask him to not make it public just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. Man, he was a creep.
Yeah.
Whoever this
I am not ignoring your perception roll. I am adding things to
Finn, did you see those pictures?
I'm just gonna delete these.
If it wasn't so creepy, it would be somewhat flattering.
There's way too much of your anatomy on display in these. I'm just gonna put them in the trash.
You don't even know. You don't even know how he knows what some of Finn looks like.
It's
Yeah.
just startlingly accurate.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I mean, he got your undershirt. He's been places, man.
That's what I get for living in an inn.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
should we head back to town then? I mean, I know Ava
Sure.
rolled off into the bushes, but I think she'll make it home okay.
Yeah, she can take care of
Yeah.
herself.
I mean, she popped up here before on her own. She'll get back on her own. Yeah.
Jacinto,
Okay.
is there anything else you think we need to do this house to make sure that it doesn't continue being supernaturally evil? I think I was
No,
hip on
you know,
all that stuff.
I don't think there is. I'm not getting any vibes from the house now. I noticed it sort of went pleasantly silent once the nods his head to the lich Patra on the ground. Once they quieted down, the house quieted down with them. So I think this is. I wouldn't want to live here still, but I don't think it's going to be a problem on that level anymore.
Well, do you want to give this room one final good look before I wander?
Sure, I got good peepers.
Yeah, you're closer to the ground than me. You catch things I miss.
That's true.
All right. So I'm going to, and because you rolled that high, I'm going to edit what you find real quick because it was
All
a
right.
hidden thing.
I got a 28. Everybody at home.
Nice.
I just love high wisdom characters.
I do think you being close to the ground is a good logic for why you've got such good perception scores.
Yeah, although it doesn't help for things up high.
Okay, so I'm going to just show you the loot list. And that painting that you saw leaned against the table, really nice frame. You can see through the grime that it is amazing quality underneath the grime. You suspect that you could clean it up or get it cleaned. It requires a culture check according to what I've got written. It requires a culture check to actually clean the painting. If you do clean it, that painting is of Aisha, the undead woman that Aldern destroyed in front of you. It'd be worth 2,000 credits. You find a small silver key ring. There's a filigreed crystal key, once again, with the Foxglove family sigil on it, but this key does not look different. It looks different. It does not look the same as the one that got you into this house.
Oh, that's why the one with the house.
Yeah, and on the key ring as well is a steel key. It has an unusually long tang, and it splits into like 3 prongs at the end, 3 notched blades, and the head of it, where you would hold on, it looks like a roaring lion. To the south, amongst some more debris, you found a chime of opening, something that isn't common at all nowadays, because this is just a purely magical thing for opening doors. You also find on Aldern himself an ultra-thin wounding switchblade,
That's
a Yosoki refractor suit, and something that Jacinto has to work at a little bit to identify called a stalker's mask. It's made from the preserved sections harvested from several different, I know it says human because I copied and I forgot to change it, several different sentient faces cover this mask. When worn, this mask desaturates the wearer's color, making them appear shadowy and granting a +5 bonus to stealth checks. Once per day, as a full round action, you can cause the mask's features to take on the appearance of any creature of the wearer's basic size and shape within 60 feet that they observe, allowing the wearer to adopt that creature's appearance for 1 hour. This grants them a +5 bonus on disguise checks made to appear as that creature, and also grants the wearer a +1 bonus on attack rolls and weapon damage rolls against that creature. As the mask builds upon the wearer's rage and jealousy of the target's spirits, which is how you get the bonus, because you start developing a psychosis about the person that you're turning into.
Oh, that's how I
lovely.
probably saw my stuff.
It's quite possible.
Probably how he stole all your stuff.
Yikes! Yikes! Yikes!
Well, I imagine we poke around and check for anything we might have missed while haunts were going on. And then,
So you would explore the rest of the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a
Right.
couple of rooms we didn't get to go into because we were scared of haunts. There's that one with the picture that's turned around backwards. I kind of want to flip that picture around and see what's up.
Yeah, the picture that you didn't turn around, it's another portrait of Aisha in that bedroom. So in the private study, you would have found I'm assuming you're going to pass a culture check here. I know Lahan has culture. You find a painting valued at about 6,000 credits called The Throwdown at Swintown.
Huh.
And in that same room, you found some spell gems, Arcing Surge, and Supercharged Weapon. In the kitchen, you find a fine silver dinner set, wow. Dinner set with an exceptionally large silver salver and a dozen crystal decanters worth 10,000 credits. It was made by a master artisan. In the wine cellar, you found 8 bottles of vintage wine from Vigardais Vineyard on Cheliax, another moon named for ancient Cheliax. Each one valued at 1,000 credits.
Damn. Dang.
I'll show that to you. I don't know why I didn't click that button. One of the areas that you would explore, you would find an undead abomination. If you feel like you would have fought that, we can just hand wave it and say you did. If you feel like you guys would have been like, nah, we'll leave it alone. I won't show you what you would have found there.
No, we probably would have.
Yeah, we don't want
We're
to.
not just going to leave an undead abomination alive.
But all of you definitely could have taken this thing. It wasn't as tough as Aldern, and granted, it had more hit points than him. You would have found there was a feeding cave that had a mechanically large size undead dire bat. There was a little smokestack, like a shaft that goes up from there, and you look up, and it comes out outside. That's how it got out. And after a certain point, you can see that it turns to like concrete. It looks as though it's like the inside of a concrete tube going straight up, possibly a well. There were the remains of some people down there, and you would have found a Horicalcum ring worth 3,000 credits, an adamantine buzzblade dueling sword worth 12,000 credits, a hat of disguise 3,850 credits.
The hat of disguise, for those of the audience who have read If You Give a Bard a Printing Press.
And then 560 UBs. And then in B33, I have this labeled as dangerous mold. It's in this cave here on your way out. You would have braved it, possibly gotten a little bit sick, but been fine, I'm sure. You would have found a heavy seismic pick worth 2,790 credits. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. So you would have found a bunch of stuff, and I 100% believe that you guys would have made it through exploring the rest of the house without too much issue. So I don't feel bad about just giving you that slew of stuff.
Nice.
Thanks.
And we go home.
And then we go Pronk home.
And Shadow Mist greets you joyously, did not like being there, and desperately wants to get you on his back and
Shadow
go.
Mist has been in the ballroom.
Yeah, Shadow Mist is curled up in the ballroom.
Yep, 100%.
Are the birds gone?
Birds are gone. The birds aren't gone. They are starting to liquefy, and they're just laying on the ground dead. Or deader.
Liquefy?
Lovely.
I hate this place. Let's get the Pronk out of here.
You said it.
Yes. We load up all of our loot in the wagon and on Shadow Mist, and we drive off.
Yeah, we go back to town.
You go back to town. We are having to end in about 15 minutes because...
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I've got a condo association meeting. I promised I would help my condo association manager take stuff downstairs because she's 70 and doesn't need to be taking stuff downstairs.
No, that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
We should definitely make a point to liquidate all of our extra loot. We've got a bunch of stuff we've been carrying around.
Oh, yeah. Not that much stuff, but
Actually,
I agree, especially
So I've been
if we're
throwing
going
out
back
big
more.
numbers, but then again, you get 10% of most of that.
Yeah, I mean, I figure the stuff like the Horicalcum ring, that's a sell value of 3,000 credits, right? Like
Yeah,
if it's an
yeah,
equipment that we could
yeah,
use and
yeah.
then we sell it, that's 10%. But everything else, like
But there's definitely
the
some equipment that's like 10,000 credits or
yeah,
13,000 credits, and you're not getting near that.
Yeah,
right,
true.
yeah.
It
Thanks,
depreciates as soon as you
Starfinder.
take it out of the store. It's like a new car. It's
Yeah.
just driving up a lot.
Prompting
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous
anything you buy in
Pathfinder
modern
2
society
conviction.
has
You
this
you
value, right?
sweated in that. We can't give you full price for it. We give you maybe 10%. It's like you're going to a pawn
You
shop.
touched that
You
sword.
breathed on that.
You looked at it. Now it's
90%
not worth
off.
anything. Yeah.
You
I mean,
loaded a battery in that rifle.
This is the way that even modern mass-produced stuff is, right? If you try it,
Not quite as bad.
I mean, have you ever tried to sell a large ticket item? You're lucky if you get maybe
I mean, half.
20% of it. No, you cannot sell your furniture for half of what you bought it for.
Well, furniture, no, but like
Or cars.
if
my
you got
car-
like a computer or a power tool, or there's some highly sellable items out there.
There are some things that resell, but most things do not. Once you take them
Yeah,
home.
but you've got some. I mean, you found out that this is especially important to Finn. Like there's a definite connection to the seven siblings, and Finn for sure knows that they have a presence on Magnamar Station.
Oh yeah.
One of the other things that you would have found in another room that I forgot to mention is you would have found. Sorry, because we skipped some stuff and you didn't go into a certain rooms. You did find some cages that had what would have been animated prior to Voral's death, but now were just dead and starting to slowly liquefy. They had some of those like tumorous rats in them, and the
Oh.
cages actually had a maker's mark, and it's called. I've got it. It's a maker's mark for a establishment called Pug's Contraptions, and it's on Magnamar Station as well.
Pug's Contraptions, put that in my notes.
Yeah.
I've got 7 siblings notes going on.
Nice.
Well, because I want to know the stuff about that, because it's my thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, I think I successfully typed all of that loot into our loot sheet.
Well, I should have made everything visible to you, so you can always just revisit those loot handouts.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Boy, oh boy.
And I think next week, unless you guys are just like, yes, we're done digging into this, we want nothing to do with those 7 siblings, we might be going into space next week.
Spice.
I mean, I'm gonna push them to not be done with it.
Yeah, I think like left
guys
to our
have
own
to do
devices,
that.
Lahan might stay home, but Finn's gonna be like, we should chase them down, and she's like, yeah, you're my friend, I'll help you.
You got a strong tie to investigate.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, there's a pepper. I heard a pepper.
I hear
She's
about
What's going on Sunday, Nick?
She's so mad.
Oh, it is an off Sunday for TFC. We were on this last Sunday, and our investigators wrapped up book 5 and their investigation of Lao Array. Now, or they're almost done. They're still fighting the book boss of book 5. We will come back not this Sunday, but the following Sunday with the climactic finale of book 5 of Threefold Conspiracy, and these guys will move into their biggest conspiracy yet as Series 3 begins to come to a close.
Series 2.
Series 2. This is Series 3.
2.
TFC is Series
3
2.
is nowhere near.
Series 2
Yeah,
is going to
we
go
have
on
so much more
forever.
to go. We're halfway through book 2, and we've got
Yeah.
6 books.
Jeez Louise.
It's a long.
But hey, that
Wait,
means
it took us like 2 years.
It was a different style of writing earlier. Starfinder's more
Well, and-
streamlined.
Pathfinder just takes longer. It has more content in AP books than Starfinder. Starfinder is like very reliable. You can play a book a month of a Starfinder AP. You cannot
if
generally
you don't stop and smell the roses.
if you don't stop and smell the roses. Like you can absolutely take longer for sure. But it's pretty easy to keep a Starfinder AP book in a month of play in 4-hour sessions. Pathfinder, I have not figured out how to do it. I don't know how you're supposed to run these APs in 6 months.
Man, but
Yeah.
something about Pathfinder campaigns. They describe a lot of chairs. There's just a bunch of chairs in every Pathfinder campaign. They like describing chairs.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, they were bizarrely specific about the chair that Aldern
Right?
sits in there.
No,
And
one of
it
my
had
campaigns, I collected
no
chairs. But it
benefit.
wasn't this one.
No, but
they're
like,
being
there was
really
nothing about
specific
the
about
chair
chairs.
that mattered.
No, it
beyond
was
the fact that
Carrying
they
Crown where
described
you
the chair
collected
being
chairs.
gross.
I know, I'm saying it wasn't this one because they were specific about chairs in that one too. It's odd that it's a theme.
Yeah, there were some really nice chairs in Carrying Crown. We mounted them all in our wagon. We had a wagon.
And I collected comfy
Lovely.
chairs from places we looted.
And we had so many comfy chairs.
Before I
So-
forget
so-
to mention,
Yep.
so we've been talking about the series 2 is coming to an end and wrapping up and stuff like that. And while we can't disclose, we have been discussing what is happening with series 4. Big things on the
We're not
horizon.
telling you yet.
However,
Super excited.
not telling you anything. However, what we can tell you. Okay, so we lied. We are going to tell you something. We need an artist. So we are looking for somebody to do art for series 4. Yes, this is something I can disclose.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, because our favorite artist in the whole world, Seth, is unavailable for very good reasons.
So busy.
And he is unable to do our art for series 4. So as you've noticed, he has been unavailable to do our art for series 3 as well. Long story short, we need someone to do art. If you know somebody who is very interested in drawing cool art for a TTRPG, Tom needs you. Yes, you have no idea how true that statement is. Yeah, we need an artist. Send us your artists.
Yeah, bring them over to the
Or
Discord
yourself,
channel,
for
link
sure.
below this stream. You can email us, nonstandardaction@gmail.com. But even better, come to our Discord server, throw it in the feedback channel. We're compiling a list of artists, and we're going to pick our favorite to do the art for next season. So if you have an artist you love, please, please, please recommend them to us.
Yes, please.
Especially if that artist is yourself.
Yeah, or yourself.
Yeah.
You can also recommend yourself. Totally allowed.
Yeah.
And like I said, next week, we will probably be going into space. We're going to have a starship combat.
Unless we learn
I'm
to
excited. Nick's excited. I know Tom did a lot of work on your guys' ship.
We're
So I'm
bringing out
feeling
more
like you might be excited.
Starship Operation Manual rules. It's gonna be great.
Starships, starships, starships. Sorry.
I mean,
Oh no, I'm
what's a
fairly
sci-fi
excited.
game without starships?
Right.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Starship
No, it'll be
Combat.
great. It'll be fine. And I think what we've got cooking up, because I talked with Jed about certain SOM rules, Starship Operation Manual rules, that we can bring to the forefront, and it's definitely going to change the fight. It's going to make it a little more high stakes, I think. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. And the thing that you're fighting was either inspired by something Liz, Nick, or Lapis said in an offhand comment while we were all in a voice chat one time. It's come about something like the bee-infused Tashtari.
What?
So be
Well.
prepared for that interesting thing.
No.
Be prepared.
But I think that's all we got. Hope to see you next Thursday and then the following Sunday. Please let us know about your artists. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, everybody. It's still a pandemic. And bye.
Bye.
Probably about 5 seconds, Nick. You could take us
Bye.
out. We'll hit the dusty trail.